Well, the Conservative MP for Lichfield, Michael Fabricant, joins us now. And Michael, I understand that you are apoplectic at this decision. What on earth is the Speaker up to?
Well, it was absolutely extraordinary today. First of all, we had great delaying tactics with the points of order, with an opposition to a 10-minute rule bill, all sorts of things to stop everything from happening. And then we found out it was because the Speaker was locked away in a room called the Reasons Room, with the leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer, who was browbeating him to make this extraordinary decision. And if that wasn't extraordinary enough, we now have a letter which has been issued by the Clerk of the House. He is the guy responsible for making sure that everything is done in a constitutional order, saying is, I'm exercising the opportunity to place on record my view that the decision to allow an official opposition spokesman to speak, and it goes on and on and on, saying represents a departure from the long-established convention was dealing for such amendments on opposition days. In other words, you have got the Clerk of the House disagreeing with the Speaker of the House of Commons, saying the decision you have made is wrong.
Yes, that's what the Clerk of the House has said, but Lindsay Hoyle, he says it's an outdated precedent that needs change.
Well, he may have said that, but you will know from the fury in the House of Commons, not incidentally just from Conservative MPs, but interestingly enough from the SNP too, both of whom, both parties feel they have been stitched up completely by the Labour Party and Starmer trying to bully the House of Commons Speaker. And I could see, and by the way, Lindsay Hoyle is a great friend of mine, so, you know, it pains me actually to talk about this in this way. But I could see from the way Lindsay Hoyle was handling himself in the chair, he had been shaken by his encounter with the opposition whips and with Keir Starmer. And as Chris Hope said, quite rightly, I think it is because he fears that after the next election, he won't have the support from Labour MP to be to continue as Speaker. But
so Michael, would you go as far as to say that the Speaker has been bullied by the leader of the Labour Party into accepting this motion?
I would go absolutely that far and further. I think that Starmer has browbeaten him to make this decision, and good for actually the Clerk of the House to issue this unprecedented letter saying that he disagrees with the decision that has been made. Let's be clear. If it wasn't for Starmer's intervention, the Speaker would not be saying that he thinks it's time to change this tradition.
If the Speaker is that weak, should he go?
I'm not going to say that, because I think on the whole, he has been a good and effective Speaker. But, you know, this has really damaged his reputation. And in a way, he's sort of taken a gamble that there is going to be a huge Labour victory at the next general election. You know, in the past, it was both Labour and Conservative MPs who backed Keir Starmer, backed the Speaker for his position. If after the next election you find there is a significant number of Conservative MPs, they won't have forgotten, sadly, what has happened today.
So, Michael Fabricant, there are reports now that the Conservative Member of Parliament and Select Committee Chairman William Ragg has tabled an early day motion which reads, "This House has no confidence in Mr. Speaker." No confidence in Mr. Speaker. That's an unprecedented move in a time like this.
It is. We're now facing a constitutional matter here, which is, as I keep saying, unprecedented. I keep using that word, but actually it is profound what has happened today. And never before have you had the Clerk of the House saying that I disagree with the Speaker's decision. And you can't have a Speaker who is being browbeaten by either the Prime Minister and certainly not the leader of the opposition. He has to be seen to be independent. And I'm afraid today it has damaged his reputation.
It's a really, really profound moment. And as you say, the opinion of the clerk being so publicly published like this, saying this is in direct contravention of standing orders. We can see on our screens now the Shadow Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, is standing at the opposition dispatch box. This is a day reserved to the SNP. This should be the SNP opposition spokesperson standing at that dispatch box. This should be their time. Frankly, what has happened is that the Speaker has stolen time from an opposition party for their opposition day and given it to the Labour Party, given it to David Lammy. Now, David Lammy's standing there, wittering on for a very long time, taking questions from all sides of the House. This should be the SNP's time. Michael Fabricant, this is, frankly, extraordinary. What will happen after this? Surely this has massively damaged confidence in the Speaker.
Well, what will happen now is the next time there is a Labour opposition day, you can bet your bottom dollar that the SNP will be saying they want to take over the Labour Party's time, just as the Labour Party has snatched time away from the SNP. But the most profound thing that has happened is, I'm afraid, a fall in confidence in the independence of the Speaker, and that can be incredibly damaging. None of us want to get back to the days of John Bercow and his bias and his bullying. Now, I have to say the Speaker is no bully, not this Speaker, Lindsay Hoyle. But people remember that. And I recall in the chamber just now, and I've come straight from the chamber, some Conservative MP shouting out, "Bring back Bercow." And that is an extraordinary, if not ironic, thing to say. Thank God Bercow can't come back in the House of Commons. He's been banned for life because of his bullying and unpleasant behaviour.
Well, thank you very much indeed for your time, Sir Michael Fabricant, and reacting to that news for us so quickly off the mark. Great to speak to you.